everybody. How's everybody doing today? It's Dr. Cindy Stark coming in for my Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I've been doing this for about a year and a half, and I am coming in here with something that I've really been relying on lately for my path in life and where I'm going right now. And I just wanted to share that with y'all. And it might be something y'all do every single day, and I just don't even know it. And maybe I feel like I'm one of the only people that do this. And I really just want to hear from you guys and see, does everybody else do this, or is it just me? And in what way do you do it? So it's called intuition. That's what I call it. I've been reading some books lately from a spiritual uh, intuitive. Her name is Tosha Silver. I originally heard of her 2 years ago with some amazing books that she wrote on how uh, to change your relationship with money, because none of it is your money anyway. It all belongs to God and the universe, and it's just an energy that you can kind of control. And if you just take away your ownership of it, you take away all your scarcity and the way that you hold on to it so tightly. And the books I've been reading from her lately are something about abundance, and then also about ask me. One's called Ask Me prayers, and just all kinds of things that you can do to help get more out of life, and where you're feeling like you're not efforting so much, you're actually aligning with the divine and really following your intuition. And so there's one thing I often do, and I want to know if any of you guys do it. And if anyone's coming in here live, you can type in hashtag live. And if you're coming in here on the replay, if you can type in hashtag replay and tell me where you're coming in from, I would love that. Oh, and I also just want to tell you where I am right here. This is a place that's near to my where I live for the past 17 years in Gainesville, Georgia. I live on Lake Lanier, and it is an amazing place called the American Legion. And I really don't even think I'm supposed to be out here, but this time of day, this is where you can find me a lot of times, because it's just so quiet and peaceful here, and you can just watch everybody doing water sports out there on the lake, and you can just come here and really spend some time in peaceful reflection, and it's a really great place to see the sunset. So one of the tricks I use for following my intuition is to do things that really bring me joy in life. And one of them is, hey Libby, it's good to see you. One of the things that really bring me joy is being out in nature. It's one of the most important things for me, is to be spiritually grounded, is to be grounded in nature and God's green earth. And so I love coming out to places like this. This and the bamboo forest are two places that you can find me. Any people who've come out to visit me in Gainesville, Georgia know that. And just places where you can just be in awe and wonder of the beauty around me. So what Tosha calls breadcrumbs are things that God gives you that are kind of telling you that you are on the right path to like living his or her gender neutral, his or her divine will in your life. And what breadcrumbs are little signs that God in the universe gives you that let you know, like if you're like right now, I'm house hunting, okay, and I'm finally in a place in my life where I can go and find permanent housing for myself. I've been in a rental house for the past year and a half, going through a divorce, and I love my rental house. It's an absolute precious place, but I'm ready to actually, put down some roots and have a place that's my own, instead of paying someone else's mortgage, pay my own mortgage. And so what I do is I take a moment to kind of develop sacred alignment, and to be able to follow my own intuition and what is the most tried and true way of getting where I want to go in my life. I feel like divinity that's within me kind of has a supernatural intelligence that I have no idea how that works. But if I really align with God and the universe and with my inner wisdom, then I can follow my intuition and follow the breadcrumbs. So I was looking at some houses, and let's see, where am I? This is beautiful. Okay, Libby, I live in Gainesville, Georgia, and this is Lake behind me. This is a 7,000 acre lake. It's one of the biggest lakes, I think, in the entire country. Not 100% sure about that. But it's huge. It's probably in at least 4 counties, if not more. And I'm at the American Legion, which is, but it's just a public boat slip area, and it's just right in my backyard. I come here all the time to do some thinking and to get me some vitamin D from the sun. So, anyway, back to my house hunting. So I have been finding some houses. I've been going around looking, and have a price range. I have a certain amount of distance I want it to be from my current house, which is near my kid's father's house, and I want it to be really easy to go back and forth between those two places for my kids, but I also want it to really light me up and be quiet and in nature so that I can hear things like this, the birds, and I would love to be able to see the mountains and just not hear traffic, because where I am right now is just a whole lot of traffic. Literally wakes me up at 3 and 4 in the morning, the traffic. So I went and found this one house last week, and imagined myself living there. There was a deer that walked across my path, which is one of God's most beautiful, gentle creatures, and so I thought that was a breadcrumb. And I'm like, okay, God, I hear you. But I went back there at night, and I just realized I'm kind of in the middle of absolutely nowhere, and it would be 15 minutes either way to be able to go to a grocery store, and I love cooking, and so I don't want it to be 15 minutes to be able to go and get a bell pepper or a bunch of cilantro, So I kept on looking, and I found a place yesterday that was amazing. It not only, and here's my breadcrumbs, okay? This is what I'm going to tell you. It was an amazing place. It had like a resort style feel to it. It had a clubhouse and a pool and tennis courts and sidewalks on both sides of the road. And I don't know where most of y'all live, but you might think that sidewalks on both sides of the road are commonplace and everyday, but not in Georgia. It's not. And so I really, really love to walk, and I don't like to be run over by cars. I have had things happen to me in my past where I have literally been run over by a car twice, not once but twice. And then my friend in Dallas, Texas last week got ran over by a bike. So it's really nice as a pedestrian to have dedicated walk space for yourself. And this place, that was a breadcrumb. It was sidewalks on both sides of the road. And then the other thing was, these might sound little to you guys, but it was my breadcrumbs. And so I've scheduled a showing today at 4:30, and I'm going to make a decision. But there was a Lakeview Academy bumper sticker on one of the garages that was open, and I could see the car inside, and that's where my kids went to school for 14 years. It was from pre-K 3 all the way up to 12th grade. Golly, I think that's actually 15 years. 3 years of pre-K, 2 years of pre-K, 1 year kindergarten, and then 12 years of school. And so I saw a Lakeview Academy sticker, and that was huge. And then the other thing was an Oh So Good spring water delivery service. It's one of the, like my son, when he was in the drama department, the theater department, he was getting ready to do some plays. He said, Mom, they have the best water here. And so I ended up getting the, hey, Allison, it's good to see you too. And so we ended up getting he said there's the best water that the theater department gets delivered to the back of the stage, and it ended up being Oh So Good water delivery. So I've been getting Oh So Good water delivered to my house ever since, and sure enough, there was an Oh So Good water delivery spring water dispenser there in one of the garages. And so that was enough for me, not one, not two, but 3 breadcrumbs. And so and like I said, it was a perfect size for me, just for me being a single woman and having my kids home maybe 5% of the year, because they love where they go to school, and I'm really happy about that. And they do not come home very often, which is great, and because they are just thriving where they go to school. So anyway, I will let y'all know. I have my appointment in 2.5 hours with my realtor. Libby says, if we are made in the image of God, it makes sense that we can have alignment being out in nature. Yes. And I think of it as not only alignment, but also intuition. I feel like there's such a divine wisdom, infinite wisdom inside of every one of us, like locked inside of our cells. There is a molecule I do believe, oh my goodness, I almost don't even want to quote the name of the molecule because I might get it wrong, but I feel like it might be called integralin. I'm not 100% sure about that, but it is shaped like a cross, and it binds each one of our cells together. And so if that's not a sign of God being within us and God being the one that creates us, I don't know what is. But anyway, so yeah, it really, I think other people might not need to be out in nature as much as I need to be, but it's just one of the things I need to spend so many hours out in nature every day to be able to feel settled in my life. If I'm around too many things that are man-made, I literally get anxiety and claustrophobia, and that started happening to me once I was a mother, but it's just gotten more and more kind of strong every single year. But anyway, guys, that's really all I wanted to share with you today. It's just to follow the breadcrumbs, and if y'all have breadcrumbs that God and the universe has put into your life, if you can drop them down below, I would love to hear about it, because those are things that I see, things that are just, he knows me, things that are very, very specifically important to me, like sidewalks on both sides of the road, and the Lakeview Academy and the Oh So Good water delivery. But if there's other things like that, I was talking to my mom and I said, Mom, when you got divorced from Dad, how did you know what house was right for you? Because she was a single woman, becoming single for the first time in her 60s, and I become single for the first time in my 50s, and you don't have a husband to follow, and your kids are out of school, and I've semi-retired from medicine, so I don't have a job that I have to live right next to. And she said that she was looking for houses, and she found one that was on Catherine's Cove, which was the name of her very most favorite aunt in the whole world. And then something else about the name of the subdivision was the name of the subdivision she lived in when she was a child. And she said it just had my name written all over it, and so I knew that was the place that was meant for me. So anyway, like mother, like daughter, she's been doing it too. She just probably didn't discuss it and talk about it the exact same way. So again, I always want to remind people 2 or 3 weeks on February 19th, Sunday, February 19th, I'm dropping my program, my proprietary wellness program. It's called the Jessica, it's lovingly called the Jessica, and I talked about it 2 weeks ago, so you can see my Facebook Live from 2 weeks ago. But it's all the tricks that I've learned. I'm going to teach you all the, not only tricks, but it's just like core truths that I've learned from being at the bedsides of America for 2 decades in the hospital and then another decade in clinics. Ways to avoid being in the hospital. Healing is not occurring inside the hospital. It's occurring at our tableside, at our kitchen tables, at our stoves, out here in the community, out here in nature. It's about following your joy. And I really break it down, a really deep dive for 6 Sundays in a row, starting February 19th Sunday. And if you show yourself some love and enroll before February 14th, Valentine's Day, you get in for $222. Or if you sign up after Valentine's Day, you get in for $333. And it is just like, I see it as literally learning at the expense of all of my patients over the years, so that you don't have to make the same decisions that they made that end up making them have to meet me at the bedsides of the hospitals of America. Because I always tell people, say, oh, I want you to be my doctor, where do you work? And I'm like, you do not want to be my patient. I mean, I said, I want you to be my doctor. They say, I want you to be my doctor. Are you taking patients? And I said, no, you have to be sick enough to unfortunately be admitted into the emergency room to be one of my patients, so you don't want to do that. And so this is just how to prevent ever being one of my patients. What doctor makes a course so that she never gets business? But I just know there's so many people that are always out there that unfortunately don't know any better, and they'll always end up filling up the emergency rooms across America, whether or not I give this 6-week program or not. So I just would love it. Nothing would light me up more than to be able to be shoulder to shoulder with you for 6 Sundays in a row. It's going to be a very intimate group of people, and if you invest in yourself, the universe will pay you in dividends to come. But anyway, I'll see you guys next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, probably not from this beautiful location, but actually next Tuesday I'm going to be in Colorado. I'll be visiting you here at 2 p.m. Eastern from Colorado. I'm going to visit a dear friend of mine that I've never met I've never been to Colorado except for to go to the Hoover Dam. So I'm super excited to get to see one of the cities that I've and states that I've never really been to. So I'll see you there next Tuesday. And until then, take care. I love you guys and have a great day. And please let me know, drop down below, even if you're watching this on the replay, what it is, what kind of breadcrumbs it is that God and the universe gives you so that you can follow your intuition. Take care. See y'all next week. Bye-bye.